You watching means absolutely nothing because... Oh, okay. I don't have... Is that... Okay, does that work? Because, like, I'm trying to make it to where there's music in the background from the computer, and the computer is very... So, like, right now, the music volume is very low. I can hear it. How loud is it for you then? That's like, I wanted to try and make it to where it was still, like, it wasn't just like a dead, a bit lower, I gotta be louder. Okay, that's totally fine. To be fair, I'm more than happy sitting in silence. I used to actually stream where I pre-download music and put it on the stream, and then, actually would sit in complete silence for hours while the stream had audio, but I didn't even know what was playing. And then in the back end, apparently I would get copyright struck because some of the music was not, copyright free. But, dude, you see what I'm building means absolutely nothing, because there's a good chance that either you and I don't get paired up with each other, or you and I will get paired up with each other, and it doesn't matter. So, it's kind of fun. But for anyone who is not a part of the show, who doesn't know what the heck is going on, hi, I am going to be a part of what's called Story to the Bell Tap, where we build our decks around a specific big fella or a keyboard the person who got Draco Ray can go to Dragolis, but there's still Dragolis on the wheel. So like, I got Glacius, someone can get Trifurnish, and then both of us can still play Trifurnish. It's just, I can play up to 3 Trifurnish, but the person who got Trifurnish might have to play 3 Trifurnish. Okay, so that's really funny. So apparently, alright, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, I have no idea what's going on because the music is coming from my computer. And the music coming from my computer is at 1 volume pip. I don't know what's going on. I tried figuring this out earlier. Like, I legitimately tried figuring this out earlier. Okay, how about now? You guys hear me now? Like, can you hear me now? And can the... I just want to know, because I was trying to figure this out all this morning, because I passed out yesterday. Nothing changed? No. I'm muff compared to the music. Okay. So that's annoying. Okay, so...
Okay, let's see. Before I do anything. Now, the funny thing is, putting in AirPods doesn't do...
this... Okay, I want to see something. I think I fixed it. I Okay, but then that's annoying because then... I think I might have fixed it, but I don't think I did. Audio input, which is what I want for that. But then I also want there to be music. And I don't think I can get that. And if I can't get that, because I tried, I legitimately sat here since like 7 in the morning trying to get this. Because I wanted there to be music for the stream. And I don't think we're going to get music for the stream. You know what? Here's what we do. We compromise. No, I know that's not going to work. Oh, well. Yay, scuff. Because that's how this works. Because I haven't done this in forever. And I wanted to try and do something like this. But, oh well. I'll figure this out. Because now if I play the music, you guys, I don't even think you guys can hear it if I have it playing while my mic is my AirPods.
in a while. But yeah, so this is going to very defensive Elestrals. I'm not sure because I'm going to have a lot searching your deck for an any sale, take that deck. So your deck is spinning or running through your deck. And an any sale is anytime you feel it. So I'm trying to figure out like the best way. And a lot of people were trying to tell me go on this is not probably but one of the things that I kind of had an idea was Yep, that is a good idea.
Yeah, no, I'm going to just. Yeah, I'm annoyed, very much annoyed, but I will figure something out going forward because I think music-wise, simply I will just download a bunch of tracks and then throw it on in the background, then deal with this because I was trying to figure out, and what's really funny is I had a headset. My MacBook doesn't have a a USB port. And I don't have another headset with a USB, a regular audio jack. So I'm just screwed. The whole time I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, so going off with this crazy idea with Hermes, I don't know why I really wanted Hermes, but I was really wanting Hermes because I could go with some super, super crazy ideas. Because yes, Hermes is known mainly for, you go Spine go Spinosect, and I'm still probably, if I'm going to go this route, I think I will, I'll most likely do a play Spine, but because Terrasail, hey Max, because what was it? Because I'm only allowed to play Terrasail as the only 2-drop in the deck, other than the lifts, probably will run like Aviolith or whatnot because it's still a good 2-drop. I just like the Graveyard Recursion, and Hermes Trickery is still one of the best things that I could possibly run. So, Max, welcome to the chaos. Next week, I'm going to be a part of a fun 8-person online tournament where we spun for, we spun for boss Elestrals, where we're only allowed 1, 2, or 3-drop in the deck, and we're building 3 different decks, and I got this really defensive dude, and I'm sitting here like, I don't know what to do. So, yeah, no, I decided to just stream my my madness as I figure out what I'm doing with them. But also, yeah, that video that I will be a part of is also going to be recorded. We recorded last week the intro and the craziness that happened there, and then next week we'll be recording the like actual tournament. And so it'll be a lot of fun. And I can't wait for that video to go live because it was a lot of just fun madness. So what do we have? We have the Carrion, we have Nemisail, we have Terrasail. Honestly, like, this idea that I have for this deck was really, really, I'm gonna say, is really stupid. But stupid is my middle name. Because I am just infinitely dumb when it comes to why I decided to make this idea. And yeah, I'm gonna run an Aeolus as well, because why not run multiple Divines? Do we know who the 8 were? So I don't know if Hazy actually put them up yet, but from who we know, it's me, Logan, and Chris, and then it's pretty much just it's people from the team. So I don't remember who else from the team. Oh no, yeah, it's Hayden, Riley, Chris, Logan, me, Steve, James, Zach, Graveshift. So those were the 8. I think this mini event is kind of the like first of those like more team-wide events. because I remember originally they wanted to do something with the team as a whole. I guess either from that point to now the team grew a little bit too much to either get to where everyone could be a part of it, or it might have just gotten a bit too much to try and handle outright. So then it was just like, you know what, we'll start off with 8 and then see how that works and go from there. But I'm gonna have a lot of fun because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be out first round. Yes, Blazerus and Chivalror, which were my other two, are probably going to suit me a lot better. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try. We're gonna hope. We're gonna hope. So honestly, like, for what this dumb idea of a deck is going to be, I pretty much just said I wanted like a mini toolbox of a deck, and then also said I'm going to showcase off a good amount of the underrepresented cards that Elestrals has. So, for example, no one's using the winds, and I'm almost certain I can use at least 3 of the newest cards, like 3 of the winds, pretty easily. So, for example, we have Monsoon, which I believe to be the best one here. Enchant up to 2 in any combination of wind and water. Then I suppress every face-up card that's not wind or water enchanted on the field till the next turn. It's really good because I do not believe there's many wind or water BFBs right now, as well as it allows me to potentially reactivate Nemisail. It allows me to re-enchant Hermes, re-enchant Aeolus if necessary. It allows me a potential Nexus factor for Terrasail, and then gives me a good amount of freedom. So, for anyone who's also here that has no idea what I just said, Nexusing is a mechanic in the game in where you can take spirits that are underneath an Elestral. So you have an Elestral or any card in the game, and then you have your spirits. Your spirit cards here are pretty much just like energies in Pokemon or like lands and Magic. What they do is they just empower your creatures or spells or anything in the game and kind of allow them to exist. And Terrasail has an ability called Nexus, which says you can move a wind or water enchanted spirit from one part of the field to another part of the field. And by doing so, you can activate multiple different effects, one of which is Nemisail's own ability to heal 2 upon receiving 1 or more wind. So I'm pretty much taking this idea of I'm going to try and not die. But yeah, we're gonna take 2 Monsoon. We're also gonna use Sirocco because Sirocco is really good in this type of format. I don't believe there were many fire. And that's the good thing, is because these are best of ones, I don't have to lead this deck. I'm almost certainly never leading this deck, because I am not confident with what I am building whatsoever. I 100% believe this deck will get smoked out of the water. And Brian, you're not doing anything later. I'm not sure what I'm doing later. But I know that Brudacity is just doing free play all day today. So I might, if I'm confident in what I build, I might actually build this and see how this plays. And if you, I might see if you want to head down and practice this a bit, either on Discord or at Brew. But Sirocco is another one. So Sirocco will allow me to have my opponent burn 2 as long as whatever they're attacking with is not wind or fire. And that's for every time they attack for the turn, which is really, really good. I don't know if I need 2 of that, but I'm going to just put 2. The last win that I truly believe I can take full advantage of in this BFB is Breeze. Breeze, Nexus of Wind or Solar. That's fine. I think I was originally going to be crazy and adding an Exaltus. I'm not sure if I will be adding an Exaltus because I am not wanting to be mentally insane in this deck building process. Maybe. But I could at least use it for the wind. If I do, I can give each wind or solar enchanted Elestral on my field +2/+2 until the end of the next turn. Everything in my deck is going to be wind. I wonder why. So 3 of the 4 wins that they made, which means 3 of the 4 cards that have been heavily underrepresented and heavily underused in this format as a whole ever since Firestorm dropped 2 months ago, I believe, or a month and a half ago at this point, I'm going to showcase. I will at least hope that either in round 1 I don't get smoked out of the water and I can show this off. Most likely I'll be doing this game 2, depending on who I'm fighting against. I might even make that a 3rd. I am not sure. We're at 21 cards. I'm not even at my generics yet. Let's not be dumb. 3, 2, because my life only revolves around the dumbest of RNGs. 3, 1. Okay. Save deck. I'm at 35 of 40. And I am not sure how I feel about this. Okay. So, we are looking at 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're looking at 11 bodies. No. Simple. No. Yes, I have a philosophy on deck building, but the philosophy on deck building doesn't do anything when... I feel like Sirocco is going to do the least amount of stuff. Sirocco will be put to 1. Monsoon will do more. Oh, fun. I don't even have... Good lord. Okay, great. I put the Aeolus in there for... I know I said I could probably use... Okay. This is where my brain starts to go into... I don't know what I'm doing. I am not... Let's be prefaces. I am not the best player. How I got 20th at the last Moonrise premiere on May 17th, I believe it was. Yeah, I see your text in the group chat. No. No. Yeah. I am not the best on deck building. Because I usually build around flaws. Like... Yeah. Yeah, I saw your text in the group chat. The answer is no. But, no, legitimately... I usually have a deck. My decks usually are built around a flaw, and I don't know why, and I usually catch it after the event. So in this case, because the entirety of the whole BFB is... the entirety of the BFB and like the whole point of it is the decks aren't meant to be super competitive unless you roll the like competitive bosses. Sorry, I'm in thought right now. ADHD brain. But because my decks are usually built around those flaws, like this type of format does allow me the ability to actually, you know, be creative, because everyone doesn't have the most oh god, what do you call it? Like, they don't have the most competitive bosses, and also, you know, everyone's only limited to 1 2-drop or 3-drop, and they're forced to play that 2 or 3-drop at 3. So one of the reasons why I, in my reroll, decided to get rid of the Gigaflora. So let me, while we're here, just Gigaflora. So Gigaflora, oh yay, chat's in the middle of it. So Gigaflora says I can expend an Earth or take an Earth from my spirit deck / life and send it to the underworld in order to target and special ascend and or just like tribute over a Giraflora into this Gigaflora. So the 1-drop and move it on to this 2-drop from the hand. It is a 4/7, does nothing on summon, does nothing on any other aspect of it. However, during my draw phase, I can then special cast a 1-cost Earth from my underworld. Sounds beautiful. A lot of times people are playing this in very jank decks for the sole purpose, and Steve was saying this, he plays this solely to go into other 2-drops. So it's not worth actually... It still probably would have been better than Terrasail. But let's be real. You know, Terrasail is Terrasail. I don't think I need Nog. Nog is a good card. I like Nog. Nog is a draw 2, but draw 2 is draw 2. I need deck thinning. So I had how many bodies? You don't count, but I'm counting you anyway. 3, 6, 9, 11. I have 11 bodies. I have 9 slots. Oh, this is... See, I really wanted to use the winds, because I'm able to actually use the winds. I don't need more than more than 3 carry on. Hermes Trickery. But I need Hermes Trickery because it's a card. And Aeolus is here solely for the one fact that I can search out other potential. I could search out other potential 1-drops that I can look through. Because the other 1-drop wins that I have access to, 1-drop, Elestral, are some good ones. We have some good ones. If I'm sticking to the Aeolus, there's a good special free 1-drop there. P-Gust is another good one. P-Gust allows me to blow up my opponent's back row. Verituka's a really good one because it could potentially get me... It can get me some good... I have options. Brian, are you still here? I asked this... It's funny because, like, some of the options that I have now put here are... Monsoon's a good card. Enchant up to 2. Okay, so I am between either keeping the winds or going with a different strategy that I was contemplating, which was... Because one of the things I wanted to do was utilize the winds. Another option I had that I was contemplating was using... Another thing I like using with Hermes, which is Divine Healing. Because a lot of Hermes decks need Hermes to stay alive. And because you need Hermes to stay alive, just keeping a Divine Healing alive... Divine Healing allows you, for anyone who's not here, who's not from Elestrals, allows you to heal 3... put 3 spirits from your underworld to a divine on your board. So, would it be better to either take the winds out entirely or just put the winds to just 1 each? Because I have Breeze at 2 because everything's a wind, and I have Monsoon to 2 because it allows me to enchant stuff. And I have Sirocco to 1 because it's more of a defensive option. I could take Sirocco out entirely. I could also take Aeolus out entirely. Because I'm like, Aeolus is good because a lot of people were putting Aeolus. I say a lot of people. Hayden actually put Aeolus in his deck, but it was only at 1. And he was focused more on just low to the ground, like, 5s. And you know me, I'm stupid. I is the stupid. I am combo player. So 5s doesn't really... That playstyle doesn't really sit well with me. I don't know how to do that properly. So I'm trying to think, like... Exaltair, I put it here because if I use it with Hermes, it's always a 6. So it's bigger than any 5. And then if I mix it with Trickery, because Trickery, it's unable to be destroyed. So it's impervious to any battle shenanigans. I don't believe I have access to the list of oh god. I have the list right now of all the different BFBs. So we have Christboard, Draco Ray, Caperfume, so Fire, Fire, Earth. We have Tarot Star, Salashade, Lustragon. Steve is going to be cracked. Zach has Fulgorix and both Wasps. Waspire and Wasp Ivy. And then Logan has Gardon, Leica Void, the old Leica Void, not the new Leica Void, and Chronodial. No wind. Seeing that, I could probably actually take out Sirocco. Because a lot of them actually have fire. But, like, is it better to do, like, the divine healing idea, or... Because I know I want to do this with Hermes. Where's Island? And I want Island. I felt like Island of Aeolia is going to be a necessary card too. So I have a lot of runes and not a lot of bodies. So I feel like my bodies in the deck need to kind of do stuff. If I go the Hermes route, which is kind of what I wanted to do, I get access to Trickery. I get access to a more secure, or not secure, but a more efficient route with Carrion. But if I go Aeolus instead, Aeolus doesn't have a searcher for him. Don't say pig. Don't say Sorlet. Sorlet doesn't count. Sorlet needs to beat something in order to search for Aeolus. Sorlet doesn't count. Spine Nymph searches on cast for Hermes. So that actually counts. So that's why I wanted to do Hermes, because I could. It felt better, but drops to 1. I can drop both the wins to 1. If I need to drop the wins, I feel like I can drop the wins entirely. I don't want to drop the wins, but I can. Just because I wanted... This is a deck I really... I kid you not. This has been haunting me in my sleep for, like, forever. Lunar. I want to see something. Where's that? Oh, that's why. Okay, yeah. That little bugger's been sitting in my brain too. Oh God. You know, double Hermes, double Aeolus. Let's try that. Let me see how that looks. Not something I feel super confident with, but it's something that I feel confident enough with. So then... Spine him for the search. Wind, 1 drop, Elestral. And then... Because now we have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13... 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I like 18. I like the 1822 line. That actually is a pretty nice... $18.22 is like a pretty nice ratio. So 13, like 5 more. Pigas. Verituka. Old Pig, because Old Pig is better than New Pig. I will stand by that. We're keeping we're keeping Aeolus, so if we're keeping Aeolus, Galaxair is necessary. It's a free summon. We like free summons. And It's one of those. Did I put fin dust? Because everything in here is searchable off of fin dust. If everything is searchable off of fin dust. Do I care about Aeolus enough? No. I don't care about Aeolus enough. Carrion can go to 1. That's why we have drops. Omni. Divine Healing. And... resting. Done. Removal. Alright. I don't feel confident with this. At all. Legitimately, I don't. But this is why I decided to build this one first. Because I had 2 other bosses that I felt more confident with. So, spirit-wise... we have... what are the spirit maths here? We have water off of Terrasail, water off of Monsoon. Well, we have 1 solar off of Breeze. We have... oh, I didn't even add tsunamis. I don't think I cared. I think I kind of just threw caution to the wind and said, oh well. Vertuka. When this... one sec. There we go. I realized I was covering the whole screen. Love how it takes me forever to realize stuff. Vertuka. When this attacking Vertuka enters battle with an attack position equal or fewer enchanting spirits, suppress that and destroy it. That's not bad. Only downside is you can't do Hermes trickery stuff with it. That's why it's still a 1 of. I'm trying to just think of, like, I wanted to really showcase off a couple different unique things. This is why I was, like, super excited to do this. Because I was like, ooh, I can get some really cool, unique you know, cards. And you know what? We'll live with it. So 3 earth. I think I put 4. 1, 2, 3. 3 water. And then the rest is... rest is wind. I'm okay with this. This was... I don't know how confident I feel with Terrasail at all. I kid you not. Like, so they were asking during the recording session, little spoilers for when that goes up. But they were like, what was everyone's like chase that they were hoping to spin? And I was like, I don't care. As long as I can get something that can give me a Hermes deck, something that can give me a Hestia deck, something that can give me a Keone deck, or a Frost deck, I don't care. Just give me something in Frost, something for Hestia, something with Hermes. Done. You know what? The fact that Terrasail was the reroll, and that gave me the Hermes, and the other two gave me the other stuff I wanted, I was like, I'm okay with it. Me sitting here just like sore from the prior week. Maybe minor concussion, I don't know. All right. Before we move on, because I have been sitting here with this half plus of a box. I'm going to open up a couple packs while I just kind of have a nice intermission of both Chivalror and Blazers. So this is going to be fun because I swear, if any of these, so context, on my channel, I have a open a pack a day until I pull a stellar. I didn't expect it to be open a pack a day until I open a stellar. But I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And I really don't know if I'm going to pull a stellar. Hollow. All right, that's one hollow pulled from from those daily packs. I think we'll open up like 3. But yeah, I usually like to record a couple in advance, and I'm not gonna lie, this box has been dead for like since day 1. So there's only 1 full art per box right now, and there's only 1 hollow spirit per box right now. And I pulled the full art day 1 of the box, which was day 8 of the series. And I pulled the hollow spirit a little bit later. It's been hard to really make opening the rest of the box feel like there's something left. So if I, in any of these packs, open up anything remotely good, so any stellar, if I open up any stellar, I'm not opening up the whole thing. I'm only going to open up a few packs because I am tired. And I'm trying to figure out, should I build Shiver or should I build Blazers? And I think I probably will build Blazers next. Because, Brian, I know you are our team's, like, resident fire, like, longest staying fire caster that hasn't really bounced around. And I have probably a really dumb idea for that deck. One more. Nope, just cow. What is it? It's going to end up being Hestia Blazers. I'll leave those two. Oh. Because I am going to have way too much fun. So, fire. Yep, now we get to have fun. So the best part about this deck is not only do I get to play Blazers, I get to actually go into Trifernal and not be locked. Oh, there went my charger. I don't get to be locked into playing Trifernal. I can choose to just stay Blazers if I want to. And it's gonna be fun. I need to stop with, like, how do I put it? It's almost as if I'm, like, fire coded because of the fact that I like fire. I like the cards that come in fire. I think, you know, I think they're neat. But I don't... I feel like I'm always... I don't know how to put it. Like, I feel very stuck with fire. Like, I feel very, like, I don't want to keep... I don't want to keep playing the same deck. I've done this with so many games before, where I keep playing the same deck, the same, like, all the time. And I don't like that. I want to try new things. I always want to try and, you know, actually get to, you know, play new stuff. The issues just come with I seem to have a lot of fun building this. So, like, fire, in my mind, just ends up actually getting to be a little too much fun. So, one thing I will say, I'm not playing Eruption. Simple. Eruption won't matter. Everyone has a fire deck. And I mean everyone has a fire deck in this BFB. I literally read out, like, I think every single one of the BFBs. Oh, cool. I forgot. I made that. I made it do that. I am sore. Ow. Like, I am actually sore. Pain. So, three, because what is a Hestia deck without Hestia's Hearth? As well as the fact, where is it? I got it in the mail. I got my first one in the mail. I don't know when the second one's coming. I hope it's soon. But I now need one more. And I know I need to try and trade with Chris for it. Because I don't have money for it. And I don't know what I have trade-wise that would be good enough. Otherwise, I just don't... I mean, I'm not going to try and max rarity of this deck. I can't. Because I'm going to be playing the Warmite. So, yeah. One of the reasons I didn't... Oh, wait, where's Lavalith so I can slap the one lava. Done. Alright. I can do... One drop, Elestrals. And be free. Yeah, the reason I didn't actually, like, start with the easy ones is because I kind of knew what I wanted with this one. This one was like a very, very easy, a very easy idea. You know? And you should have seen the look when I rolled this. Zach's face was like, so, Exalt Flare's banned, right? Then he rolls... which one? Waspire? I think it was. I think it's Waspire, the fire one. He's like, never mind, you know, Exalt Flare is a great card. It's a balanced card. It's like, yeah, no. Super, super balanced. Very, very balanced card, you know. We love those balanced cards. Oh. I'm not gonna lie. This is probably gonna be a very easy. I wanna put an asterisk. Just because I can see the vision. All right, I can see the vision with this deck. So it's Blazer's Turbo. It's Hestia. So Hestia's whole gimmick is you're spamming people on the board. You know, as long as you have equal or less people on your field than your opponent, you can special cast someone from your hand that's a fire. Hearth, good card, just allows you to refill either a Hestia or a Hestia's champ. And I love Warmite. So, like, I feel like a Hestia fire deck, like, I know Hephaestus is better for Fire Nexus. And you are the Fire Nexus guy, Brian. But I don't know why. I always felt like Hestia, I feel like, is a really good fire, like, potential Fire Nexus deck, like, capability, because of the fact that you have the swarm potential, so you can build up upfield and not need to worry as much. This is kind of where I need to, like, take a step back. When you cast Valkyrie, search your deck for Hephaestus, add it to hand while Hephaestus is enchanted. So that uses a lot of... That would use... See, this is also something interesting, is I also wanted to use a mix of the two, where you mix Hephaestus and Hestia. Hestia for your swarm, Hephaestus for your more like artifacts and other stuff. I'm not sure. I don't think it's worth it. Regular Valkyries is a good card. Right? In this deck, in this type of idea, regular Valkyries is a good card. So, the fact that it just gets power for every fire on the board. Half of the people in this tournament are running fire. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a very good idea. Speaking of good ideas, are we sure I have those? One idea that I have ooh, this is another one of those I can actually potentially show off in Phoenix. Yes! Okay, yep, alright. We're going, we're doing it. We're doing crazy stuff, we're showing off in Phoenix. Happy day. Now, Blazers. This little puppy can attack twice during the battle phase, and Blazers destroys a second Elestral in the same battle phase. I can special ascend this into Trifernal. I don't have to play Trifernal, because I'm not locked to playing Trifernal. However, I can. And I have a really, really good idea. I just had this idea because, for context on this idea, We're on our way back from Connecticut from the Winnabox the other weekend. I believe this was last weekend. Me, Logan, and Chris. So Logan, Chris, and I were coming back from Connecticut, and either we're coming back or we're going there. And the whole concept is we're talking about just how, you know, a good amount of the decks I play, I do end up pulling the trigger a little bit too fast. I end up putting out the boss too early. And because I put the boss out, you put that there, so this way I'm like, I don't know. But I do put out the boss a little bit too early. And I'm thinking if, especially with like my Majursa deck. So Majursa, great card. I love the deck. You know, still have it sitting right here. You know, Majursa, she's a really beautiful boss. Issue with Majursa is that every time I play her, and the reason I always play 2 Majursa, and in my mind I also want to play 1 old Majursa, is because I want to be able to make sure that with old Majursa, if I'm going first, like if I'm blind going first, I have potential for the protection. But in normal cases, a lot of times when I play Majursa, they're outing it right away. And in a deck that plays a boss unit, once the boss unit dies, you lose momentum entirely. Whereas if you're playing 5s, or if you're playing like fire artifacts, your boss unit is a 1-drop. You lose the 1-drop, you didn't lose much. Oh, I lost Volcaries. Alright, well, it's a 1-drop. Oh, a lot of your power comes from your artifacts. Sure, you lost a good amount of pressure because Volcaries is still a good card, but I still prefer. But like Volcaries is still a good card. But the issue with that just becomes you still have all your artifacts. With like other very low to the ground decks, their bosses aren't bosses as much as it's just you have powerful guys. Whereas the decks that I play, Glaciersa, Majursa, Spinosect, the Soulstocks, Flammomoth, a lot of these decks are 2-drop and 3-drop decks. So the boss unit of those decks are big. You play them, they get outed, you cry. And then, naturally, that means I want to play a second one. So that if you out the second one, well then, here you go, I'm just going to hand it to you because there's no way you should be able to out 2 of them. But that also means that I've now used a lot to be able to play them. In my head, I'm thinking, what if, you know, I play around and build a deck around that flaw with... Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Of course, because I can't spell. Helios Chariot Ride. Again, I somehow build using bad cards because I'm building around the fact that it's a bad card because I'm building to what it's meant to do. For example, I'm using Drops of Leaf in a deck in decks as a whole that are piece reliant. So I'm using it to find pieces as well as fix my hand. So I'm using it as a partial mulligan as it's meant to be. Is it good? No, it's not a good card. But while it is not a good card, it is not a bad card. Divine Healing. Divine Healing allows me to enchant 3 spirits from Underworld to a Divine. A lot of people say it's a lose-lose card. It's a lose-more card. Sure, if I don't have a Divine, it's doing nothing. Here's the fun thing. In the decks that I'm putting it in, if I don't have my Divine, I've lost. So then, what's actually better than losing but keeping my Divine around longer and actually getting to use its effect more? Because those decks need to use the effect of the Divine. Helios Chariot Ride is a very hit or miss, like double-edged sword kind of card. Can only be cast during the draw phase, so it's a literal dead card if you do not play it during the draw phase. And it literally just says your opponent can't play cards, can't cast runes during the turn. I said it. Hope to God my opponent doesn't actually destroy it during the turn. I hope and pray and pray to whatever God's listening and be like, don't destroy it. And they don't destroy it. So I go my turn. Draw. Helios Chariot Ride. And now I go full combo. By going full combo, I now get Blazers out. I could potentially even go Trifernal. I'm putting that in the deck. And for reference, Trifernal's effect is a good one. When an opponent casts an Elestral, I can expend a fire in order to give it -3 shield until the end of until your next end phase. Oh! I didn't even read that. Not the next turn. Not until the end of the next turn. My next end phase. So they play it. That defense is lowered until for 2 turns. And then if that defense is reduced to 0, it's destroyed. So let's just go down the line of Elestrals. I'm just going to go down the line right here. 1 defense. 3 defense. 1 defense. Actually. Whoop. I'll go down the line of what I'm going to fight. Christspore. 5 defense. Alright, so it's living. Most 1-drop Earths aren't, but it's living. Draco Ray. It's dying. Caperfume. Oh, Caperfume's living. Okay. Alright, you bulky lunar pterodactyl. I know Salashade, I believe, is living, because Salashade is actually... Nope, Salashade's dead. Alright, good. Salashade's dead. Leshragon's alive, but most solar things... No, actually, a good amount of solar stuff lives, so solar might actually get around it. Let's see. 1-drop solars. Cockeray's dying. Cypermal's dying. Exaltus is dying. Exaltus is dying. Gloombat's dying. Calfmel's not dying. Lumaru's dying. Nebuleo's dying. P-Gleam's dying. Plucky's dying. In multiple ways. Sundial's dying. One-drop Lunars. Most of those don't have 3 defense. One-drop Fire. I was already here. Trifernal kills its own stuff. One-drop Earth. Yeah, it's murking its own things. It's murking those things. I believe I'm the only one with Frost. I don't need to look at that. For now, I don't know what the other ones are. Thunder. Thunder's ironically yeah, no. I'm 100% falling in love with the idea of playing bad cards like this. It's funny how I went onto like a hilariously dumb tangent for little reason other than to say I'm putting this card in my deck, but that's kind of what the whole idea of the stream was, because of the fact that that's the whole point of the BFB. I'm going to have fun. This is not gonna be good. We're going to throw in my generics. 3, 3, 3. How many bodies do I have in the deck right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So %. Where's the divine healing? I'm gonna put divine healing here as well. I might take out the regular Volcaries. 13 plus 6, 19. Yeah, that should be fine. So we're going to have Smoltuga, because Smoltuga on summon searches for any 1-drop fire. One old Ignector, 2 new Ignector. Oh, we're at 40. You don't need the divine healing. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. We don't need the... I really want the Volcaries. The Volcaries is cute. You know, we don't need the war. But the war might's good. Maybe. So, how many Helios? I put 3 Helios. I don't think I need to... You know what? I just realized. Something. This is very dumb too. I'm not gonna do this dumb idea. As much as it's really cute, I did watch. I watched Nick do it, which was really funny. Use old Ignector's effect, special cast out 2 Ignectors from deck, play the 2 new Ignectors. 2 new Ignectors allows you to search for Nectar of the Gods, add them to your hand, play Nectar of the Gods, draw 2 cards. Hey Luke, how you doing? Welcome to the madness of the stream, which is, I sit here deck building for a fun, online tournament that I will be a part of and recording with a bunch of people from a team that I'm a part of next week for a game called Elestrals. It is a very fun game that I have really enjoyed. Then I was like, you know what? I have to build some decks for it, and I was like, you know what? I have nothing to do today. And recovering from the fun wipeout, which was yesterday. You missed it. At the ice vault, I wiped out on the ice and just pancaked. And I am as sore could be. So I'm like, you know what? I knew I was going to do this anyway. I wanted music, and for like the first, God, I want to say like 30 minutes, I was failing to get music to play, while having the audio actually have me talk as well. But, oh well, it's been like 4 years. I think it's been like 4 or 5 years since I last streamed, so I'll figure it out next time. Hopefully. But yep, this is pretty much just what I'm doing. I'm just here. For anyone who's here that's not sure what Elestrals is, I usually will take time to actually explain what my thought process is and like what certain cards do, and I will go into fun tangent mode. But yeah, pretty much I was planning on doing a specific combo that I am not going to do anymore, because I just realized this card right here, this very fair and balanced card called Exalt Flare, using its very fun and very balanced ability of allowing me to special ascend or go from this 1-drop into a 1 or 2-drop of my own, off of its ability for free, almost, quote unquote free. Does not really cost me a summon. Mix that with Hestia's effect, which does not cost me a summon to play someone out. And as much as I would love to just deck thin my deck a bajillion, why not just play 3 Nectar of the Gods or legal, fair, and balanced card of any card game with the longest text and effect known to man. 3 words. Draw 2 cards. So, we could just play 3 of that. So, pretty much what the idea of this tournament is we spun a wheel and we got 3 different bosses that are 2-drops or 3-drops. For example, this deck needs to be built around Blazerus, and I cannot have any other fire 2-drop or 3-drop in the deck other than Blazerus. There is a catch. The catch is, because Blazerus can naturally go into a 3-drop, I can play any amount of that 3-drop. Whereas I will save the deck, go into my decks. Whereas this deck right here, I rolled Terrasail, a card who does not go into a 3-drop, meaning that one derpy looking card that actually has an ability that does nothing is the only 2 or 3-drop I was allowed in the entire deck. And I have one more deck I still have to build. So, and they are all best of 1s, and they are being the tournament, I believe, is next week on Saturday. So, I'm going to have a lot of fun. Because I have a feeling I'm either going to be paired up with some... I have a feeling I'm either going to be paired up with a really good matchup, or I'm going to be paired up and get 2-0'd and lose right away. But I'm at least confident with this deck because I know what I'm doing here. This is fire. Fire is, in my opinion, one of the few elements I feel like I know what I'm doing with this element. But we go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm not gonna lie, it feels really scummy to play 3 Trifernal. I don't care. I do not care. This I find will be funny. So, why do I find this funny? Do I even want Smoltuga? Oh, Brian is going to be screaming at his computer right now. He's gonna bop me next time he sees me. He's like, yes, you play Smoltuga in a fire deck. I am not sure. I feel like I have a couple options, because I could do the Smoltuga, and the Smoltuga is cute because it's a 1-drop that allows me to search for any 1-drop fire, which is pretty much the entirety of the rest of the deck. Which, I will say, this is a very unorthodox fire deck, because if you're building around Blazerus, you don't build around Blazerus. And if you build around Blazerus, you never build around Trifernal. And I'm not even locked to building around Trifernal. I don't have to build around him. I'm choosing to. Because it's funny. Brian, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look at what I just did. You saw nothing. Hurricane. Because yeah. As much as I would love to have Trifernal at 3, because it's a... There's a reason I'm playing a Helios Chariot Ride. There's a reason I am playing a card that tells my opponent, no, you cannot play cards. Oh, this is... I will continue to say this until until the day I die. I am not a good deck builder. I am a bad deck builder. I build decks because they are fun. I build because I want to be creative. I like showcasing the cool and unique side of things. And I will always build around a flaw. I don't know why, but I usually will build around a singular flaw. And today is one of those days that I will be building around a flaw. 1 wind and 1 thunder for the hurricane that will do most likely nothing. You know, I don't even have a Torchin to search for my Hestia. That is fine. I have normal casts that I don't want to use up for Torchin. So I need 1 water for that. Ooh. Alright, cool. Deck is done. Very simple. Very simple concept. Turbo this little guy out, and if I can turbo that guy out, I can turbo this guy out. And if I can turbo this guy out, everyone cannot put a single guy on the board. You know, here's where I feel like I'm gonna have an issue. And yes, I am correct. I will have an issue. Divine. There you go. Now we have protection for my Hellhound. Good boy. Alright. We have... I've been here for 2 hours. We have 2 decks built, and I have 1 more left. Scale of 1 to 10. Do I want to build it? Yes. But, let's open up a pack or 2. Because pack openings are always fun. I will say, if in either of these packs I open up a Stellar, I will cry and laugh at the same time. So, for anyone watching that doesn't know what I am talking about, because I just sound like a madman, is that a rare? No, that is a rare. Okay, cool. A Stellar is a very hard to pull card. My legs. I have some of them. So, like, yeah. For example, the one I showed earlier, I don't know, because it never shows me who else is here still. But, for example, the one I showed earlier is Hestia's Hearth. I'll take it out of the sleeve because it's easier to probably show. Stellars are hard to come by. They are located by this symbol right here. They are alternative versions of a card. They are alternative arts of a card. What do you mean hard? You have 50. So they what do you mean by hard? So you are not guaranteed to pull a Stellar in a box. Some Stellars, like that Hestia's Hearth, are reverse, meaning there is not a designated amount of them out there. Some of them are promos. So, for example, you have, like, the Stellar Spirits from the blister packs. These don't really count, in my opinion, because you can pull them all the time. Or you have harder to pull ones, and I do mean harder to pull ones, like this serialized X of 99 Scout. I took it out of the sleeve because it's hard to see with the sleeve. So similarly, you have the symbol here, Scout, and underneath it will show the designation. This one, I believe, is either my 21 or my 25. 21 of 99. So that means there are 99 copies of this card in the world. only 99 will ever be printed of this card, of the Stellar, and I have 21. I have number 21. Another one that I was given the other day is Nebuleo. I almost don't want to take it out but it's like hard because of the glare. But this Nebuleo I was gifted 26 of 99. It's so beautiful. This is in my own personal collection, and I will build a Nebuleo deck at some point, because as a Leo, I will always want to build something with lions, but I will cherish that card. That was a gift given to me by a friend, a very close friend of mine, but yeah, no. Pulling a Stellar from packs is very hard because it's not guaranteed. And on the channel, I've had the series opening a pack a day until I pull a Stellar. And I haven't recorded it in a couple days, so I've had this box sitting here. Like, this, it's legitimately still half full, so I still have half of the box open. But like, your chances of pulling it are, I want to say, 1 in like, I want to say like 1 in every 5 boxes or so. Like, it's almost, at this point, they've gotten it down to where, with the amount of Stellars that they've released, including the reverse Stellars, you're almost guaranteed 1 per case. So that's really good, because back in the day, set 1 base set had only serialized Stellars, and then Frostfall got screwed up. So whatever your chances were for a Stellar, even though you had reverse Stellars, it got completely messed up, and then it became a double or nothing. So if your box had a Stellar, you had 2 Stellars in it. But then if your box didn't have a Stellar, it didn't have a Stellar. So you were either guaranteed 2 Stellars or 0 Stellars, and that was it. And then set 3 and set 4, I think they just slowly were adding more reverse Stellars. And I think with set 5, they had enough reverse Stellars and serialized Stellars to make it to where you just had like enough of the enough boxes to where if you were to get a case, you almost were guaranteed to have a Stellar in the case, but you're still like, Stellars alone, like reverse Stellars, are you're looking at like $50 to $80, $90, depending on their usability. And then serialized Stellars, you're looking at between like $200 to $450, depending on competitive viability. So we'll do one last pack before starting up the last deck, because alright. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty okay with these packs pulling nothing, because now I can start off fresh with the next side I think I just posted today was day like 14 or 15. I have only up to day 20 posted. And then I opened up 5 packs today. I'm not opening up any other packs today, so that's the rest is going to be there. That's 16 packs. Okay, that's not bad. So the rest will be for recording for the YouTube short series, and then I will, if I don't open up a stellar, let's hope I do, because I don't want to go buy another box, but I might have to. So let's get into Shiveror. This is gonna be fun because I don't know why, but I have really wanted to build a Frost deck for a while. And the type of Frost deck I've wanted to build for a while isn't like the type of Frost deck like my Glacier Celeste, which I will say is definitely not a Frost deck I would consider. It's a weird list. So this one, I get to actually use cards that people would recommend or like would generally look at and say are pretty, like I looked at Brumalinks and I don't really like this new Brumalinks. People say it's great. I look at it and say it's iffy. But I know it's good, and I'm so excited to use it. The only thing that I was a little annoyed about, but I'm okay with it, was separating the 2-drops. So, for example, Shiveror has 2 different versions, and they're not titled. So, I rolled this Shiveror, the old Frostfall one. I can enchant a Frost from Underworld to any Frost Elestral on my board, and then while Mountains of Boreas is on the board, I can, Shiveror is, cannot be targeted by my opponent's runes. So, really good card, which means my opponent can't target this from their card effects, at least the non-Elestral card effects. While my field spell is on the board, essentially it's a 9/7, so really bulky, and then either continuously bulks up itself or continues to make other things bigger. Part of me thought I'd also potentially get access to this Shiveror. However, I don't, because on the wheel, it was actually separated Firestorm and Frostfall, or Firestorm and Base Set, or Firestorm and whatever the other set that the original ones might have come from. So I don't get access to this Shiveror, which I'm not upset by, really. I'm a little upset by it, but I'm not that upset by it because, in my opinion, the new Shiveror is really cool, but I'm actually kind of happy that I get to use the old Shiveror because I have the full art for it, and I get to use the full art in my deck. Ow, my hand. And I get to actually kind of have a lot of fun. Potentially in the next week kind of hunting down some more full arts if I can. I don't think I will be able to, but I can hope. But one thing, I'm definitely putting 3 of this in here. 1, 2, 3. One thing that I'm really considering for this deck is probably using like a Morfrost engine, because generically, Morphrosts are really good, and one of the first, if not the first deck I built for Elestrals was actually Morphrost. It was back when we only had Lycan, Indus, Terror, and Abominable. This guy. So it was only during Frostfall. Yeah, I know. For Chivalry, it's interesting that I'd be wanting to use Morphrost, but it's because I'm like, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I want an excuse to use Morphrost. Yeah. Well, remember when I was at ICG for the original demo day, and my deck that I don't remember if I built a deck for that or not, but one of the decks I built either then or shortly after was a pure Morphrost deck, and I love it. And to this day, I still love the idea of just going a pure Morphrost build where I can turbo, where I can go with just branching into different Morphrosts, and then I have Chivalry in the back end for just a consistent boss. And with Chivalry's effect, every turn I can enchant a Frost from my Underworld to an Elestral on my board. It works really well with Catarant being once per turn, not once per turn, but whenever it receives a Frost Spirit, I can heal 2 Frost. But Terror, I believe. My opponent's Elestral will get -1 power for every Frost enchanting this Morphrost. So, the more... Like, my original Morphrost deck actually went under this, like, thought process, which was Tadflow, Special Ascend into this Terror form, and then continuously build up this Terror form so that I would just... Also, did you let Kuna know who they were? Yeah, I did. I let him know. It was a while ago. I did. But honestly, it's fine because... Oh, wait, I guess spoilers because it'll be recorded. Here's the funny thing. Hayden and everyone else on the cast for the BFB is, like, their names are so much bigger than even me. Like, I am a very unknown person. I have virtually no one who subscribes to me compared to any of them on that BFB list. So I'm pretty sure you're right. We don't know who's playing who, and we won't know who's playing who until the day of. So the way that it's going to work is we're going to meet up the day of at the recording, and then that wheel is going to get spun, and we're going to be paired up right there. Well, I'll say this. Me spoiling probably who the 8 were won't matter because it's not like it really matters. Like, plus I'm pretty sure the idea is that it was supposed to be like us 8 first, and then Because remember, Hayden really originally wanted to do like a full team event for a BFB, but I guess either it got too, like, I guess far removed, or the team grew a little bit too fast. Yeah, I guess yeah, it does lose the surprise factor. That's the one thing I kind of, the only one is Brian, but I don't think anyone else from our team came to watch the stream. That I know of. I know a couple people from my work came to watch the stream. And I know that I'm just reading messages from the Discord. Yeah, no, but it does lose the like surprise factor, but I oh well, in the sense of, I guess one person, maybe two, but it should be fine. Probably for the future, I should remember to not say anything. But oh well. This is we have fish head. And yes, Chris, I would be more than happy to let you pick my brain later about streaming and recording, because I'll say this: the hilarious scuff that was the beginning of this stream. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with. I think the best thing I would need to do for the beginning of this stream, for like if I wanted to add music to the stream, because of the fact that I wanted to put music to the stream. Oh my god, I forgot there's a friggin' audio that the video capture device has. Oh. That too, yeah, having an intro. I used to probably do an intro. It's been like 4.5 years since I've last streamed. So I don't. It's been too long since I've remembered doing streaming. But oh god, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know what? No. For right now, I think I'm going to be. You know, I tried testing it, and I thought I had everything working out well. I want to see something. Okay. Oh. Hi, it's here on Screen Grab. That's where you are. You little bugger. Bastard. you down all the way to nothing. Okay, how's this work? I think I might have... Please tell me that everything sounds slightly normal-ish. Because I'm not sure. Because I'm not sure really if there's another way I could do this. Oh my god. Did I fix it? Did I fix it? So the funny thing is, this isn't the Clash music. This is from... Oh, this might be the Clash music. This is from their Bandcamp. When I was on... when I was on Full Frontage's stream one time, I asked him where he got his music from, and he said it was on their Bandcamp. And funny thing is, I can't find the music that he has from their Bandcamp. Let's go! Okay. So, this is on their Bandcamp. It's called, Nako, it's called the main menu theme. And then it just kind of goes down the line of Feloy Forest, Atlantis, Volcanic Forge. So, Chris, Brian, I swear to you, I didn't realize that scrolling down in the mixer, I didn't realize that screen grab, the one I've labeled for my, you know, for this, you know, I didn't realize that it was playing music. I thought that was the, like, mic/aux. And then I was like, okay, I'll just lower the volume on my computer until it's, like, non-existent. And then I tried everything. I mean, I tried everything. But, the fact that Screen Grab actually got it to work. Oh my god. Now we have music. I'm opening a pack mid-deck building because screw it. And I swear, if it's a stellar, I'm gonna cry. At least it's not a god pack, because god packs don't exist. If I haven't seen it, they don't exist. Ah, okay. Well. Celebratory pack for figuring out what in God's name to do with the music. Alright. So, back to this. Okay. I'm thinking, and I'm almost certain this is probably not the correct way to do this. Because I feel like there's probably a better way to do this. But I'm almost wanting not 3 mountains. I'm almost wanting to do it with the Morfrost, because it is a slow burn, but Morfrost was my first ever deck that I built. It is a really fun toolbox that kind of toolboxes together. It kind of synergizes together and kind of just swarms the board. And with the addition of Scorpio and Bat, it gives board removal. It gives it clears the board. It swarms the board. It allows Shivaror to actually not just have me rely on summon something and then hope to have it live a turn so then I can, you know. So I think it could work. And I think it's probably one of the better things that I could do with it. There are other options. I 100% agree. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the Frost options that I have access to. And yes, I know that I could probably look into other decks and other elements too. But, you know, Shivaror needs mountains in order to actually keep its protection. And it wants to, you know, keep enchanting every turn. So the few options that you have access to every turn, the few things that you have access to that want to keep re-enchanting the field, would either be Morfrost Terror or Catarant. Catarant for healing, or Morfrost Terror for making your opponent's board be as low power as possible. It is funny because of I will say this, like, my background in trading card games and the, like, graveyard toolbox, like, style of decks. Frost is one of those elements that actually have come easier to me than most other elements. And I am really happy that I've been able to... I am really happy that I'm able to understand Frost probably the best, because of the fact that, you know, looking at some of the options that we have, and, like, I think that's why I've gravitated to, like, the Glaciersa deck, because I just have fun with that. Just, it's a turbo deck. It's a very turbo-y, you know, it's not, it's sad to say this, it is not a good deck. I like it. I love it. But I know it. The way in which I want to play Glacier is not the proper way, and I'm sad to say it. But we're going to just spam more Frost, 3 Bat, 3 Scorpio, 3 Lycan, 3 Terror. It's Abominable's effect. Disenchant from this Morfrost a special a Morfrost. Not Abominable. From deck to the Underworld. Or, it's not Abominable, from the Underworld. So... This is another thing that Chivalror can enchant with Frost every turn. When you cast this, Morfrost is... I know Morfrost isn't good. I know Morfrost isn't good. But how can I sit here and look at Morfrost? One of my favorite decks. And know two things. One, their effects and synergy are beautiful. And two, I will never be able to max rarity them. God. Because this is a serialized. This is a serialized. This is a serialized. And I believe this is a serialized. The only ones not serialized are A-Bomb and Lycan. I have my playset of Lycan already. And I have, I believe, only one A-Bomb. Most of the time you only ever played one A-Bomb. Before you went to 3 Lycan, 1 Frost, 3 Lycan, 1 Bat, 1 Scorpio. But, like, this is... I know I'm shooting myself in the foot here. But I seriously am not sure. Like, when I first heard Chivalror, I knew immediately I was going to be building just a fun, jank, off-the-walls deck. Because I could do one of two things with this. And it was honestly one of two options. And the options I had are very, very cohesive in what I could do. I could go Bruma Frigicub with the Chivalror. So, context. This is the star of my Glacier's deck. Love this thing to death. Nexus up to 2 Frost, so move 2 Frost Spirits from one spot in the field to another spot in the field. When I do, target a non-stadium rune. If I do, flip it face down if it was face up, and it's frozen until this Brumalink goes away. Love Brumalinks. And Frigicub. Nexus up to 2, Frost. When I do, enchant Frost from Underworld to this Frigicub. I have to play Mountains of Boreas. This a requirement for this deck solely off the fact that that's the only way that Chivalror gets its protection. So every turn, Chivalror is getting power. And then you have Brumalinks and Frigicub, which are able to Nexus stuff around, giving you either, in the case of Frigicub, more Frost Spirits on your field by getting them back from Underworld. In the case of Brumalinks, you're getting Frost Spirits just moving around so that you can stop your opponent from playing stuff from their back row. And because Mountains of Boreas is on the board, everyone's getting more power. So that's one option that I could do. The other option is the Morfrost stuff, which was kind of my, like, more initial option. I could, ironically enough, do a mix of both because it's funny. Because the other option with the Morfrost stuff goes, you know, you're 3 Lycan, then you have your Morfrost Scorpio, which on cast ditches a Morfrost from hand and can make someone's defense 0 for the turn, and then will allow you to destroy the card that you targeted at the end of the turn, so Omni removal. And then Bat will allow you to special out a Morfrost from the Underworld that's not Bat, saying you can summon out another Scorpio, you can summon out a Lycan, because that's most likely the only thing in your Underworld, Terror, A-Bomb, Indus. You know, it's... You have a lot. You have a lot of different options. And then the 2 different options of boss Morfrost that you have, Morfrost A-Bomb and then Morfrost Terror. Terror is making your opponents weaker with every Frost underneath Terror form, which Terror is getting bigger for every Frost underneath it because of Mountains of Boreas. So, and then of course, whenever a player activates a card effect that targets one or more Morfrost, discard a Morfrost from hand in order to negate and destroy the card. And then Morfrost A-Bomb, he gets +1 power for every Morfrost in the Underworld. So the more Morfrost you discard, the more powerful this Morfrost gets. And then you can either sacrifice this Morfrost to special cast someone else from the Underworld, or Shiver effect, enchants this Morfrost with Frost, use this Morfrost effect, disenchant the Frost that was on it, grab another Morfrost from the Underworld. So, like, that's why it's funny, the only Morfrost I don't care about right now is Indus. I don't really care for Indus form. Little snake worm thingy. When you cast the Morfrost, expend or pay 1 Frost from life to search your deck for 2 Morfrosts and send them to the Underworld. Originally, that used to be really good because we didn't have any other Morfrosts. So you would summon the Indus form to get rid of your last 2 Lycans because they were dead cards in your deck, and you just, you know, deck thinning is deck winning. Now, it's not even a good card to begin with because there's getting the Morfrost in the Underworld doesn't do much because, like, to get this Morfrost into the Underworld to begin with, it kind of needed a specific path to kind of get there. And a lot of that pathing kind of required specific, like, modes. Like, it's just not that great. And its second effect is, when it's destroyed in battle, target and destroy a face-down rune. It's okay. It's good, but it's okay. Three, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Like, I don't want to just make the entire deck Morfrost. I really don't. Because now that I've talked about the Brumas, I kind of want to do, like, the Bruma Frigid coupled stuff. God. The only downside with the old Frigicub, old Broomalink stuff is those will require very specific pathing that... Ow, everything is sore. They will require, like, very specific, like, pathing that I feel like isn't very generic. You know? Yes, you're continuously getting stuff onto the board. You're continuously getting things into the, you know, like, you're continuously getting the spirits where you need the spirits to be. But I think at the same time, I think you're better off. I think in this deck, I might be better off with the Morphrost stuff. Like, even if I go 2 Terror and 2 A-Bomb... Heck, I honestly think I could go 1 and 1. So, I think the reason I can go 1 and 1 is because... And that saves me deck space, too. Oh, but then... I'll be fine. I'll be fine, I think. So... I'll see how the rest of the deck kind of plays around and builds, but... There's a good chance that I should be fine with what I have here. I should be. I'm 50-50 on it. Because... A-Bomb is... You know, with Frost, everything is a 1-drop. So, I'm playing Kione. I wanted a deck that I can use Kione. She is... I'm sorry, Hestia. Kione is my first love. Hate to say it, but I will say it. She is my first love. This Divine is my favorite art of all of the Divines. And I love the way that I can use her effect. Yes, I will say it. The idea of building a Blizzstrix deck and the appeal of building a Blizzstrix deck is not lost on me. I did really want to build a Blizzstrix deck. And I think I still probably will build a honest-to-goodness Blizzstrix deck at some point. Maybe. I don't know. But getting to use Kione is probably my first priority. And I need a third full art of her. I need a third one. I have 2. Yeah, I have 2. I need a third. I want that full art. I don't want the stupid marble one. I want that one. So, how many bodies do I have right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17. Frost can get away with having a lot of bodies because they kind of deck thin the heck out of themselves. So, Frostrix, Catarant, I think that should be fine. I think I should be good with that being my, like, Narpoon. Not harpoon. Narpoon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22. Ooh, this is gonna be a 22-18, where I have 18 runes and 22 bodies. How many of them are Morfrost? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. See, and that's kind of where I was like, okay, I can live with it, but yeah, we'll live with it for a reason. If I have to up them, I will up them a bit. I don't feel good about upping it. 3. I will say this is probably the first time that wow, I think I might not want to play Shield. Or I mean, this whole time I haven't played PTA. I know I put it in, I think, in one of them, and I might have taken it out. I know I did, but I know this is probably the weird thing of, like, you know, why? I don't know. I know that's not. I'm adding shield. Let's see. Because everything is recurable. And the only reason I'm running 3 Kione is solely for the fact that, well, I mean, I'm almost running 3 of every divine I want to run anyway. When a player activates a card effect that targets one or more Morphrosts I control, discard a Morphrost in order to negate that effect and destroy that card. An A-bomb. So everything is refundable, everything is searchable, nothing is sacred. So the reason I say this is because part of me did want to run Aurora Borealis. It's a weird idea. Discard a card in order to enchant up to 1 Frost from your Underworld to your field, and then return up to 1 Frost from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. So, for 1 Frost, you enchant a Frost, and you heal a Frost. The majority of the cards in your hand, you'd prefer to not really care about or discard. However, the fact that it's Frost means nothing is sacred and everything can come back to your hand. Everything is recurable other than Shivror with Kione and M Frostrix, which is why M Frostrix is on the card. And then depending on what it is you're discarding, if you're discarding a Bat then summons out a Morphrost. You enchant onto the board. So whatever you're enchanting. Which the ones that I have as on receives are Catarant or Terror for making your guys weaker, or healing. But as much as I like that idea... Oh, my numbers just got a little bit nicer too. So as much as I would love the fun irony is here is Cryoblast is in element removal. And I'm going to do a little meta gaming. I did this earlier. I'm going to do it again. No frost. No frost. No frost. Skip over me. No frost. No frost. So far, I am the only one in the event with frost. Me saying this, and I know Chris is here, wherever he's lurking. He's most likely either going to now roll a frost, or Riley's going to roll a frost. Or because, you know, I am smart and streaming this process for the literal event that is going to be filmed next weekend. My entire 3 decks is open for everyone in the event to come watch this wonderful, you know, breakdown of, you know, my own sanity for 3 hours to come watch and see what's going on and what I'm building. I think the funny thing is does it matter? And I think Cryoblast is still a good card because there's enough of a game plan for every single one of them that Cryoblast still matters enough. And then, hi, Broomalinx is here. Broomalinx can search out Blizzard. So, the one thing I'm not 100% about is having 11 more frosts in this, like, 50-50. By having 11 more frosts, yes, it's 1/10 of the deck. And I think I'm over... I feel like I'm not going to draw into enough of the Morphrost to make Terror work. At the same time, I am legitimately staring down. Heck, I'm contemplating finding a spot for one Indus so that I can do the... Where are you? Cast this, burn 1, search for 2, done. I'm tempted to do that just so I have a reason to mill the last 2, but that's a dumb idea. However, the fact that I have 3 Kione, I have the 1M Frostrix, and Frostrix effect can't be stopped. I think the only thing that stops and goes around is, like, shield. I think that's shield for, like, every one of them, too. So, you know, literally sitting here and saying, you can pay for Gorgons, I have a way to stop you for just 1 cost. Oh, you're gonna eddy me. No, you're not. The... You know... New Galaxy doesn't matter. Like, there's a good amount of stuff where it's like, oh, you're gonna target me for an effect. I have means to stop you. And because stuff like, oh, I'm gonna just summon this Morphrost, Poison Tithera. Discard Morphrost. No, you're not. Like, oh, you're gonna Gorgons. No, you're not. It's not a once per turn. It's a when a player. So, part of me wants to run more Morphrost. The only Morphrost that are left are either more Terror, so that they're not being forcibly searched off of a Lycan form all the time, or more Abominable. And that's why I was wanting to run oh god, what was it? That's why I was wanting to run the Aura Borealis, because it allowed me the ability to set up the Underworld with searches, or like with cards and stuff, but Blizzard is a necessity because this is one of the few decks that I actually have like ways to stop the opponent from actually playing a card, and I'm actively, I think, building this in a weird way. But I think I should be fine. I want to say I should be fine. Here's the here's the weird kind of part of my head right now is I want to say I'm fine. The funny thing is I'm actively looking for cards to potentially take out for Nog. I'm not gonna lie, I like Nog. I like Nectar of the Gods. It's a very simple draw 2 cards. It's a very simple, just... like, I like that effect. I did it. I did the Nog. This is like why the weirdness of my just like deck building. Nope, wrong button. Done this now for about 3 hours. Over 3 hours. 3... Do I really need one for each? No, I don't. Haha, there we go. I love when a spirit deck is just all an element. I think that is my most confident of all the BFB decks that I have access to, or that I have built. I am going to go back to Terrasail. Now that I have sat here for 3 hours. I cannot believe I have sat here for 3 hours. Deck building. It's funny, I thought I was gonna do this for one deck, and then was like, oh yeah, no, I'll do this for another deck down the line, and then do it for a third deck, and then, oh, we'll be fine. I will say, will this mean I will not build decklist profiles for these decks? No, of course not. I will, of course, build decklist profiles for them. So, I have a bunch of decks that I am building. I'm just like, I didn't make the decklist profile for Glaciersa, the one I brought up for the Winnabox. I wish I did, but it just... I'll say this, it felt bad that I'm not sure how to make... I'm not sure how to make it work. And the fact that I'm not confident in this set so that I can put my foot down and say, here is a deck that I am super confident in, and I'm upset because of that. Because I want to say that. I want to be able to build a deck and say, here's a deck that I'm actually good with, that I can be confident with, that I can go to big events and do really well with, but that's not the case. I don't feel confident with much from this set. And funny enough, July is actually a pretty busy month. So with July, I guess, Elestral side-wise, they have the set championship. So this month they have what's called a set championship. So it'll be a tournament where you can earn points for Worlds next year. And with that event, the only cards that are allowed in that deck, or in the deck that you're playing, are cards that were released in Firestorm. So only the 100 cards that were put out in Firestorm, and every card that was in a Firestorm starter deck. So am I able to put that in? Try Final Shadow Star as Panther on Feral Majesty. Just want to see. Is it only going to show the 100 cards? Yeah, it's not going to show like the art bud or whatnot. So these are the only cards outside of the like reprints per se that are allowed. And I'm curious to see like what I can build, and I have a couple ideas really for that. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun kind of building up a deck for that. And no, I am not going to continue on with that. I have, you know, I think right now I have the other two decks pretty set and secure. I think I just wanted to come back to this deck and I wanted to kind of preview the stupidity of what I built. Because, God, what did I build? Okay. This isn't terrible. But it's it's something. It's something. I'll say that. I think I'm okay with this. I think I should be okay with this. I'm not sure how I'm okay with this, but I should be okay with this. Everything that should be searchable is searchable. Everything that I... this is going to be the one deck that I'm going to... I'm going to cry. Okay. I might have another idea for this deck. It's dumb. But everything with this deck is dumb. Everything with this deck is dumb, so... Actually... Okay, you know what? Audible. We're... BFB... Barrel... Failed... Ooh! Alright. Thorough sale, 3 of you. Now, I know I immediately hopped into this not thinking, and what is thinking? Because thinking doesn't matter. But thinking does matter. Earth, wind, 1 drop, Elestrals. Okay, so my logic, I guess, with going this route was I don't think that the other type of deck was I was told go with Aeolus. I don't know how I feel about going with Aeolus. Is the issue. Because I like Hermes Trickery, I like all those things. And for me, Aeolus is more of a 50-50. but let me heal this. Galaxy there. Veru? Alright, I can't spell. Tu Verutaka. Verutuka. I wanted to go a more fun route with Hermes, but this isn't terrible. Because I can still get what I want out of it. Wind, Earth, Elestral. One drop. I'll use one drops. What's my Elestral count here? 2, 3, 4, 5. This I don't think needs to be at 3, but I'm putting it to 3 right now because I can. 2, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15. 16. 17, 18. Okay, and then ooh. Okay. So from here we have I could still use the winds. It's funny, I was looking at the winds, I was like, it'd be really dumb of me to want to use this. And I still probably want to use this in a really dumb way. But I could still use it as a means of just keeping my things alive. And the fact that I don't need to worry about, I hate to say it, but I don't need to worry about Hermes trickery. So I do have a little bit more freedom with what I have access to. But yeah, Monsoon and Breeze, I think, are like the best two. What's Mistral? Mistral can be played when an opponent plays an artifact or divine. Put that rune in their rune row face down. It's okay. Omni, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is still a piece reliant deck, so I still rely on drops. I might actually go this route more. Not gonna lie, like this is funny. That this actually might be the route I go with instead of Hermes. I spent that entire time in the beginning going around Hermes, and then just me reading the Titano stock and just like, okay, I go this route instead. Only downside is I don't have a searcher right now. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, well, lucky me, I have 2 things I need to do. 1, cut this little bugger. Galaxy are at least a 2. So I don't see it necessarily being a necessary card. It's a necessary card, but it's one of those, like, if I can get the Terrasail in my hand right away, it's a 1-drop, it's a 1-time Ascension. That's the whole point of the Galaxair. It's just instant Ascension. How much water is in there? Is Monsoon going to be as necessary as I'd like it to be? Water. Earth, solar, fire, and fire. Lunar, fire, lunar, solar. Lunar. Fire, earth. Water. Okay, there's enough. Oh, I didn't even scroll down for wind. Yeah. So wind, and fire. So technically the two. Yeah, monsoon's not gonna matter as much. Yeah, I actually can take monsoon out entirely. Because I can take monsoon out. And again, it's funny, I came into this deck building process, into the stream, with the idea of, I'm going to use the winds, I'm going to do all this, and then I'm like, actually, I'm going to metagame this. And then the metagaming process is, Breeze is the only good one. Like, why is Breeze the only good one? It's the only good one. I can actually drop drops to 1. I retract my statement from earlier, but I don't retract my statement from earlier. Sorlet is still a bad searcher for Aeolus, because it does absolutely nothing. I still don't think it's worth putting in here. But where I said earlier, I don't have a searcher for Titanostalk, and I don't want to put Rummagem. So I would go Rummagem, turn 1, turn 2, play Titanostalk. Like, I don't want to do that. Sorlet is a one-time search for all of that. I just need to hope that whatever it kills doesn't suppress it. And that it can live so I can use it another day. I am still possibly going to just put... This is like where I was contemplating, should I put like them Toxiswarm and Exaltair, old Exaltair, in the deck, because then I could do a little bit of like Windbird shenanigans. I put one of each. Or if I take out the Sorlets and just say, you know what? If I hard draw into the Titanostalk, I hard draw into the Titanostalk. Oh well, and then I just put 2 and 2 a lot of wind box decks only put 1 and 1 because it's a wind box deck and it's Aeolus. So move Piggy to 1. I think Piggy should be fine at 1. Put you to 1. I only need it to proc the 1 time. That's also why I have the drops. Toxic Swarm. Exaltair. I don't think I need 2 and 2. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have removal. Look at that. I have removal. And it's not like I need to sit here with hoping that I'll save the 2 Earth Spirits, because I need the Earth Spirits for that. So like, I run 4 Earth. Was it 1 Solar? 3 Water? Ooh. Two water. All right. I'm a bit more confident with this version of the deck. Alright, and right as my computer needs to charge. Yeah, no, I'm a little bit more confident. It's funny how I need to keep telling myself this, where it's just like, yes, I am confident. Maybe. I forgot the thunder for Hurricane. You know what? Earthquake. You're getting replaced with Laurels. It's still removal. Spirit deck. But there's the one Thunder for the 2 Hurricane. I completely forgot about the Hurricane. Alright, well. Well, you know what? I think this was a... This was a very interesting stream. A lot of scuff. A lot of scuff at the beginning. Completely forgot to check the other audios. And the fact that I came out of it with 4 decks means I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun testing. And you know, this is gonna be interesting, and I really hope that either of the Terrasail decks work out. Because I'll say this. Terrasail is not my winning strategy. My winning strategy is use these 2. And both of them still need to get tested. So I sit down, I hope, I pray that whatever happens works out well, because I'm gonna have a lot of fun anyway. And knowing that I have this weekend to test. Because next week, I don't think I have any time to test. I'm trying to think, actually. No, yeah. Next week is my store's set championships. Oh, that'll be fun. Oh, God. The urge to sit here and figure out what I'm going to play. I have 2 options. I have 3 options. So, I had to sit here for a second and really think about that statement. So, the option that I was not counting is the one I have the actual expensive cards for. Yes. I was not counting my Stellars for that. Because I have kind of sworn off bears a little bit. I'm kind of... I'm kind of holding myself... I'm kind of holding myself back from playing bears a little bit because I'm not sure the best way to play them, and they kind of keep playing weirder than I'd like. Like, every time I try and build around what I think I would want the bears to do, there keeps being a flaw. And I don't think we got a Helios Chariot ride. Cards. Actually, sets. Firestorm. Starter deck. We have a Helios Chariot ride in the Firestorm starter deck. And my whole thing is I was going to play Helios Chariot ride in my bears deck so that I go full combo and stop the opponent from stopping my Majersa before I blow up my opponent's board. Yeah, no, I... Okay, well... Guess what sucker's playing bears, then? I'm not looking forward to it. It is the meme of... It is the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker meme. I know what I must do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. I know what I must do, and I know what I will do, and I will do it. And it's going to be really funny. It's going to be really funny. Well, I have been doing this for about a little under 4 hours. I am sore, dizzy, and hungry. And I have just found out that the one deck that I was probably not going to play is probably going to be the deck that I am going to play. So, I'm going to have fun doing that, but I'm going to do that another day. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the support and everyone who came out to watch the stream. Sorry that the first portion of it was utterly scuffed, and I'm extremely sorry that then the majority of the stream was just me and no sound. Me and no music. But I'm, again, just always really thankful that anyone, and I mean anyone, watches and supports anything that I do, and I'm always appreciative of it. And if you guys do, please consider subscribing, because I will definitely be making actual deck lists on these decks when I fully put them together, and I will make an update video on the BFB, letting everyone know about how they went and how each of the decks kind of performed. So if you want to see that, please, consider subscribing for that update video, and, hope to see everyone in the next one. But for now, peace.